Be careful what you access, viewers, in this most seedy of locations. Hello and welcome to the Seedy Location talk about traps. In this video I'm going over the efficiency of traps versus the impact, like in the previous video where I talked about economy engines. I'm also going to be talking about why I'd run them. For example, I believe there are two types of corporation. There's Jinteki and there's not Jinteki. What I mean by that is when you see a Jinteki card there, you're going to expect net damage. You're going to be very cautious when you access, because if you put them on a kill, you're going to access cards one at a time. You're going to have to be very efficient when you run. Make sure you've got plenty of cards in hand so you don't die. Versus MBN, you're going to want to have lots of money, and you're going to get tagged, and you're going to have to be prepared for that tag. Now, I believe even though Jinteki and MBN are supposed to be on the same side of the trap spectrum here, where you're going to get a lot of hit with a lot of traps, what the traps do is very different. Again, Jinteki tends to have the most efficient traps, because the most efficient thing a trap can do is win you the game outright, and that's usually done by killing the runner. MBN's traps, however, tend to give you more tags or score agendas, and while that does help you win the game, it doesn't often help you win the game in one go. Wayland and HB, however, their traps really just make the runner less efficient, and this neutral traps reflect this also. Now, you can also see the high impact cost of this, because HB traps, you have to often advance them. There's no form of snare, whereas Jinteki, your traps, like I said, snare, you don't even have to advance them. This does 3 net damage and a tag at once, and you just have to pay the money. Whereas with this trap here, the Cerebral Overwriter, not only do you have to advance the trap, you have to pay for it also. Now let's take a look at the impact of these two traps. Snare, 3 net damage, you can survive if you've got 3 cards left, and you take the tag, you can remove the tag, but the tag there can do a lot of stuff afterwards. So there's a efficiency impact from losing the cards and the money and getting the tag. This one, the brain damage can be very disruptive, but most runners, like top level gunners, can often find their way around it. And again, the setup and impact it costs you setting it up is just really high. So you'd have to have the runner. You'd have to really advance this, and the runner might just ignore it if you don't score out. So let's continue this theme, shall we? Again, 2 net damage, and it costs them money in impact. Not advanced, so it does nothing. And let's even take a look at their ice. Again, this helps you win, like I said, HB's on that side of the spectrum. And if you've got a data mine in the chum, again, you can possibly hit them for up to 4 net damage there. And all for the cost of 2 clicks and 2 credits there. And it's going to be on the field for most of the game. Jinteki also has a degree of certainty. How much, how consistency, that's it, the consistency of the traps. Snare, I mean, if it's in R&D, it works. Whereas with Cerebral Overwrite, it has to be on the field advance. So again, this can also work from HQ, this cannot. So these two can also do that. The degree of certainty is, well, the degree of consistency is very high when you consider Jinteki's traps, also MBN's traps. And you can say the same can be said for this. As soon as it's down the field, it can consistently deal 1 net damage, whereas these can often be trashed. Even when Jinteki does have an advancement cost, the impact is much lower. 1 credit to use it, and each token does more damage. Also, HB's version of helping of helping assets like the Smart Fabrics one merely just postpones, delays your loss for one turn, and it has such low efficiency when it comes to dissuading the runner. And it mostly relies on using your ice to tax out the runner. MBNs, however, once again, it works costs nothing. Even when it is just to hide stuff, the consistency there is much higher than that of the HB and Wayland cards. So, what does this mean in practice, and what does it mean for you as a beginner, or as a person who's just wondering about traps? When you run traps, you can see the effective cost here, the impact. So this free advancement is 3 credits and 3 clicks. Also another 3 clicks there. So maybe you could say effectively 9 credits there, or 3 clicks, 6 credits. Very, very expensive. Whereas one of the most expensive ones here is the snare, which can often be activated without even using a click, just need the 4 credits. The difference in consistency there is just staggering. Not to mention that all their IDs can help towards this, and all their other cards help towards this. These HB cards don't often help towards it. Even the cards, because of how difficult the brain damage is to land. However, how prepared the runner is for these traps can be 2 different things. And it doesn't make that much of a difference, but it does make a difference. In the HB deck, because of the high impact it takes for you to use this, for the relatively low efficiency you get, I'm only running effectively these 5 traps in a 49 card deck. Whereas in Jinteki, there are entire Jinteki builds that are dedicated around having everything be a trap. Even the agendas are traps. And it can often work really, really well. Using influence to import these traps is often not worth it as well, because again, unless the trap is going to win you the game outright, it's not seen as worth it. There are a few Chrome City builds that use Jinteki cards and brain damage to get the runner down to an inevitable loss. But again, it's still not consistent, even though the deck is designed around that. Hopefully now I'll be able to show you some games where traps are used, and then you can consider why you'd probably only want to include maybe 1 or 2 traps, because again, even though this doesn't kill the runner, it does impact their efficiency enough where I feel that 1 or 2 traps, just a 1 of or a 2 of, can make the difference for your play. Okay, here's where I cut in. I'm going to just preface these 2 videos by saying I own one of the videos. I thought I had more videos of me using traps, but unfortunately I didn't record those games. So I'll be using one of my videos and a video from a lovely group on YouTube called Peach Hack, and they make excellent videos. So with that in mind, here we go with the first video. The first video is going to be of me playing a lovely woman named Emily, and basically she's been viciously attacking my servers. She's stolen 3 agendas, however I believe she's gonna sell 2 of them. But she hasn't done that yet. Either way, right now she's breaking into the server with the next gold and the data raven in it. Now the reason why she has been so apprehensive about accessing my cards from servers is because she's fully aware that I run a lot of traps in this version of the custom botics that she's playing against, and you can see how I leverage this.
Oh, sorry, clone ship of fairy, 2 and trash.
Cool. And tag? With hunting
ground. Hunting grounds prevents the tag.
Okay, cool. Access?
Yep, I'll access.
So I'm missing 2.
Sorry.
What would I pick?
Oh, but mum. Oh. Okay.
Trashing it?
more messing from here. Loads of shit.
Yeah.
3 jacks.
Oh, I love that brain damage.
Have to ask.
Yeah.
It's,
I just
oh yeah, it's
sometimes I leave ambushes on the server because they can
Yeah,
it's easier to get them out of archives than
that's what back channels is for.
let's have a think. So
Sorry?
I'm
That's what
missing.
back channels is for.
I guess so, yeah.
2 jacks. And
One influence as well.
Did you pay for it? Oh yeah, that's one down to this. That's why it changed the.
So I'm missing 2 Jacksons, then.
Oh, I got it to get 3 cards, I believe.
2 P walls.
And you have 3 lovely brain damage. I got to 5 and still managed to win, so I don't trust you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so to put that into perspective, she can only now play with 2 cards in her hand at most. Again, I've won off having 5 brain damage, and I've been beaten by people playing that had 5 brain damage. So it is entirely possible until you get that last one, but it does impact your efficiency so much.
Same old thing. You can do it. Same old thing. Oh, fucking hell. You can totally same old thing.
Yeah, this is first click, isn't it?
Yeah, you can totally same old thing. Totally same old thing.
Here's name.
First click,
Right now, I'm trying to get her to waste the last of her clicks because that last card down there is not a trap. It is an agenda. So again, I'm just trying to get her to do anything else besides run that card.
Oh crap! No, you avoided the tag. You avoided the tag.
I the tag, yeah.
Oh crap! Yeah.
I know.
So there's one.
Yeah,
deck
I'm sorry,
and
no,
then
no, cool. I wonder why you were like, yep, alright, like you're about to kill me, because
Yeah. Tag.
I'm a little bit easier to kill now, you might have
Yeah.
noticed.
Working at triple advanced score, so just score it out. Yours.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair.
Okay, let's put all that into perspective. Again, the last bit of theatre there with the tag. It is possible the idea of the kill in the deck, but depends which variation. Again, I don't always put it in there, but I have to make people aware of it. I just want to get the focus off running that last agenda. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Against the more professional players, and as she would later discover in the game, just run the traps, and she did just get them off the board. And the World Championship players like Tagore and Alex White and Tim Fowler, they just run my cards like mad. I don't give a damn. Those guys are brutal, and they just stamp all over me and just crush my neck. Those guys are amazing players. And yeah, if you want to see this game, you can see the title at the bottom there. You can search for it. Now I'm going over to Peach Hack, and since I don't own this content, I'm only going to be playing a few seconds of it. Again, here's the title, and again, I highly recommend these guys. These guys have got excellent coverage. So I'll only be showing a few seconds of this just to get the point across of showing the difference between how much effort I had to put in with those traps versus the traps in Jinteki. As you can see on the board, there's lots of different remotes. None of them have been accessed because, again, the chance of them just being death is too high. And the runner in this case is just accessing R&D, trying to win the game outright because he's stolen enough agendas from HQ, I believe.
Destroy even more things.
Imp is such a good card. Trash things are free.
Is he gonna? Yeah, here comes the third R&D interface.
All right,
House of Knives.
4 cards. Yeah, we got the House of Knives here probably.
Yeah.
He's fingering the. There it is. Yeah.
I don't know how many cards he has left in hand, but again, still with Deus Ex.
Ooh, and he's a snare.
There's the snare.
Does he pay for it to activate it? How many cards in hand does Austin have? I mean, this is going to be, the Deus Ex. Yeah. Deus Ex.
But he's still gonna take the tag.
Yes.
Presuming, he did pay for it.
I think he's asking if he can use a tag counter.
Yeah.
It goes away. 3 more cards still. Neural
Neural.
MP, which he's going to draw.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Surprised he didn't imp the Neural.
Okay, I'm going to end it there because, again, not my video. Don't want to be cracking these guys' stuff. As you can see there, he accessed with an R&D, accessing multiple cards there. Very brave, but he was prepared with the Deus Ex. And that's the thing. He knew that it was going to happen because it's Jinteki PE. It's going to happen. Be prepared. Yeah, but against something like HB or Wayland, you're not necessarily prepared for that. You're not going to be set up for that. And again, that can be the difference between life or death. So traps, consider them. A 1 or 2 of. Just slot them in, see how it goes. You'll be surprised. This has been me, Jagabite, from a seedy location. Thank you very much.